All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to go over my freshwater setup on my cargo conversion travel trailer. I'm going to show you where I got my pump, how I put a switch in here, the valve assembly down here, and the tank back there. And if you'd like to watch a video of the whole build of the trailer, I'll put a link up on the top. So just click that link and it'll take you right to the video. So let's get down here and I'll show you how I mounted the tank. Alright, so here you can see the tank. This is a Rec Pro tank from Amazon. You can see there the angle brackets. I have the Timbren suspension, so I don't think many people are going to have this big bar here. But if you have torsion axles, you'll probably have something similar. Or you could add some other kind of bracing that crosses, or try to tie up to the beams on the top. But I had that bar there, so it kind of worked out. It fit pretty good between the axles. So what I did, the tank would have fit behind this bar of the trailer, but there's another one back there which it did not fit. So I had to space it down. So this is some of that composite wood that I had laying over from something I did to my dock. So I put some U-bolts going over the top, going through the angle iron, and the angle iron goes to the other one. And you can see I also added a piece of wood just to distribute the weight a little bit, so all the weight's not sitting on just those two supports. And I also spray foamed all the corners of the tank so the tank won't move. And that's it for the tank. Here you can see I used all PEX for the water lines. That is the line going to my pump. Up there you can see my fill line and my vent line. I'll show you in a little bit about how I did that. It has it marked for the sensors, which I highly recommend to add because it kind of sucks when you just run out of water. This is only a 40-gallon tank, so it's not a huge tank, but it is definitely enough to get a couple showers in. So now we go, line goes across the frame rail to the pump over there. And now we'll go over there and check out the pump. Alright, here we are on the bottom of the trailer where the pump's mounted. You can see here the pump is mounted upside down of the way it's supposed to be. The only issue I can see with that is sometimes to prime and get the air out of the pressure switch area, it could take a while. You just have to leave it running for a bit and then close it, and it will start taking the air out of there. But you can see here our PEX line comes in, and then these fittings you get at Home Depot. I'll put a link for those in the description as well as the pump. I did have to space the pump down again with those composite 2x4s. It made it a little bit easier to screw the pump to the trailer. I can't remember exactly what the deal was, why I couldn't screw it in with it flush. And it also saved me from having to drill holes into these. I mean, I could have drilled holes into these, but it just saved time going on the bottom of them. There's not a lot of pressure on here. The PEX, you could kind of shape it the way you want. So you just take it off and you go bending it and you start putting that belly in it and it goes right under with no issues. Up here goes through an existing hole the trailer had. I can't remember what I did it for. And then where it is touching the edges here, I did just cut a piece of PEX and put it over it to protect the actual hose. Alright, so here we got our PEX coming into a garden hose to NTP adapter. That goes into our gardening Y and then our gardening 45. Each direction has a valve. So for instance, this one is to shut it off right here. This one's to go into the trailer. And this one is if you wanted to connect the garden hose. You just have to make a custom hose or something like that. Or get a male-to-male hose adapter, and then you could use a regular hose. But it is a nice option to have. That way you could hose things down if you wanted to with your onboard freshwater tank. Or in my case, my external tank could still hook up to here, just in case I ever run out of water in the tank. I don't have to fill my tank up, then put it away. I could just connect it right here, shut this valve off, and I could feed from here. So it kind of gives you two ways to feed, and it is also where you're going to connect your city water to. So when you connect your city water, you close the valve that goes back to your tank, because it will push a little bit of water through the pump and fill up your tank. So you just close this valve and open this valve. So this setup here is only about 20 bucks, which is cheaper than any RV valve you're gonna find. And I bought one and just couldn't figure out how to make it flow both ways that I needed to. And I would also have to make a hole in the side of the trailer that I did not want to make. And then up top, it connects to I believe that's a Rec Pro part also. I'll include a link for that as well. But that's where the water goes into the trailer. And it's just a hose fitting with a screen inside. And it also has a check valve. So even if you do disconnect the water and all these valves are open, the water will not come out of the trailer. It stays inside of the trailer. So here we got the valve. I'm going to show you how you could be able to use this as a hose to wash down your ATVs or your patio furniture. You just put a hose in there, turn it on, and you got running water, and turn it off just like that. So I do like that flexibility of being able to use it to rinse things down. And even then, everything's still connected to the trailer. Let's go to the top and I'll show you the inline switch. All right, so up here, this is the back of our power distribution box, where half of it's our breakers, half of it's our 12-volt DC fuses. And that is where we're getting our wire from. Right here, you just see it's a simple inline power switch to be able to shut that pump off. And the reason I added that was for the fact, if you did ever run out of water, you definitely wanted a way to shut that pump off so it wouldn't keep running. And also, when I go away from the trailer, I usually shut that off as well. Another thing to keep in mind when you do park, how this is a really shallow tank that's long. If you park with the trailer tilted away from that inlet, you will suck the water out a lot quicker. You probably still have 5 or 10 gallons still in there. So make sure the trailer is level, or at least tilted a little bit to the side. Here you can see this is how we fill it up. I just used PVC for the fill here, painted it all black. That way you get nice sharp corners. You really can't see it from the outside. The only thing I will recommend, which I will be doing, I believe I used 3/4 PVC, which is what that hose fit on that comes with that fill. But this angle right here isn't enough, and it hits that 90 there, and it just takes a really long time to fill it up because you can't put the hose very fast. So I'm probably going to upgrade this to 1 inch and maybe try, instead of putting this 90 here, maybe do a 45 or something like that, and then a 45 up top here. That way the water goes down a little bit faster, because this setup right here, it does work, but it doesn't work great. Like I said, it takes a pretty long time to fill this up because it spills about 1/4 of the water out of there while you're filling up the water. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about the setup, drop a comment down below. I'll see how I can help you guys out. Till the next video.